time for a moment of silence for President.
Can we have roll call?
Councillor Hartranft.
Here.
Councillor Conley.
Here.
Councillor Lockwood. Here. Councillor Sprague. Supervisor Lockwood.
Here. Under announcements, congratulations. You got your Grandpa Jerry and Grandma Linda Lockwood on the birth of their new granddaughter Sydney. The Volney Field Days will be June 17th, 18th, and 19th, with a parade on June 18th at 7 p.m. Town offices will be closed Friday in remembrance of President Reagan. Committee reports. I guess we don't have a fireman here. Assessor?
Yes, I have. This is from David Gray. There was approximately 170 grievances this year and 5 stipulations. And once our office receives the BAR, which is the Board of Assessment Review, determinations, they will be entered into the RPS database to reflect the 204 final assessment roll.
Dennis, let me just make one comment on that. David Gray is not here. I think he's had a very busy couple, 3 weeks over the last month or so with the assessment issues. And one of the things that we wanted to mention, I think should be mentioned, is that David's job is to determine values of property. A lot of people are upset about their taxes and the amount of taxes they're paying. And I think a couple of the other board members here feel that maybe a lot of that is falling on David's shoulders, and David is not the one that's setting our taxes. David is simply there to value properties, and we think he does a pretty good job of that. Everybody could do better, but we think he does a pretty good job. We think he's done a good job for the town. And those of you who have a problem with your taxes, which I think there are a lot of us up there, there's other places to go, particularly voting. Voting in November and voting this past May. Very few people voted this past May. A lot of people are upset with their taxes. I think that David Gray is not the person to go after regarding that issue. And I just wanted to mention, because I think when it comes to the job of valuing properties, which is what he's there to do, we think he does that pretty well.
Building inspector.
Permits for May of 2004. Accessory buildings, we had 6 for $657. Alterations, 1 for $30. Decks, 1 for $50. Farm buildings, 1 for $72. Manufactured homes and parks, 1 for $65. 1 and 2 family homes, we had 1 for $100, and porches, 2 for $100. For a total of $1,074. Inspections, building code, we have 36, zoning 20. There's 13 violations, zoning violations issued. There was 3 certificates of occupancy and 2 certificates of compliance. I wanted to add that next Thursday, the office will be closed because I have to go to continued education, which we have to do so many hours every year. So I won't have office hours next Thursday evening, but we'll still have them on Tuesday. And that's the report for this one.
Dog control?
Oh, I can give it to Linda. You say that word so nicely.
Nobody else can see you, but I'm okay. Dog control officers, monthly report, month of May 2004. 45 calls received, 5 dogs housed at the kennel, 4 dogs reported lost, 2 dogs adopted, 2 dogs euthanized, 300 miles traveled this month, 30 appearance tickets issued. And that's by Edward Smith, Dog Control Officer.
Highway?
Expenses for May 2004. Supplies and maintenance, $8,000.45. Payroll, $19,424. For a total of $27,424.45. The payroll hours as follows. 381 hours on machinery repair, 125 hours on winter cleanup, 4 hours on cold patches, 8 hours on beaver dams, 30 hours on signs and guide rails, 460 hours on drainage and culvert work, 32 hours on buildings and grounds, for a total of 1,040 hours. For the month of May, we used 211 gallons of gas, 757 gallons of diesel fuel.
Historian?
Pardon me. This past month, I've been occupied with the normal duties of my office, as well as local research for a family that we moved to Wisconsin from this area. The immediate shadow or perplexity is to gain the exact date that Volney became a township. And there are 2 schools of thought on this question, and I would like some official input of opinions as to the exact date determined by the handout that I left for the town board and supervisor. My opinion, and the one being used by the towns of Redfield and Williamstown, are dates with the word "was formed." Ours would be in that state, and ours being, the day we were formed and officially named would be March 21st, 1806. And a reasoning behind that, there will be one of these days we've got to think of a 200-year celebration that needs to be carried out. Now, even though we had a change in April 5th, 1811, this handout was obtained from the official New York State records of the mid-1850s. And this is kind of like a marriage license that a lot of people have them, but they never carry with them. But I have not seen incorporation papers for our township. And I'm sure New York State, somewhere along the line, passed them. And that is the reason for my quest. Now, I've asked our local assemblyman for assistance in this matter. And the last thing today, I got a call back from them and said, check with the county historian or something like that, so rather than call there and talk to the custodian, I will pursue this further. And thank you.
Planning?
The planning board held its monthly meeting on June 2nd. We had 6 items on our agenda. The first was a public hearing was held for Mr. Frank Gardner to open a garage at 16 Flood Drive. Several people voiced their concerns over allowing another garage to open on Flood Drive. No one from the public spoke in favor of Mr. Gardner's application. Mr. Gardner's application currently is being held for further review. I see some of the people that spoke at the planning board meeting is also here to share their concerns with the town board this evening. The second thing on our agenda was another public hearing we held for Dale and Don Incorporated. They submitted an application to open a motorcycle safety training school on Baldwin Road. No one from the public spoke against Dale and Don's application. After careful review, Dale and Don's site plan was approved. The third item was a public hearing was held for Mr. Theodore Riley's application to construct storage buildings to be located on Pierce Drive. No one from the public spoke against Mr. Riley's application, and after careful review, Mr. Riley's application site plan was also approved. The fourth thing was a special use permit was approved for Omni Point Communication to erect a telecommunication tower on 138 Owens Road. There's considerable amount of discussion over a special use permit, and we have a resolution which we're going to be probably mailing out on Monday concerning it. But it did get approved. The The fifth item was a mini subdivision was approved for Riverview Business Park, formerly the Miller's property, after they secured all the variances they needed from the zoning board and all the input we had from the attorneys and everything. That mini subdivision was also approved. The next thing was the zone change request that the town board requested the planning board to review. And I submitted each of you a letter. So please be advised that the planning board reviewed and recommends the zoning changes proposed by Victor Ryu to change a portion of industrial zone land to agricultural zone. The planning board has carefully reviewed this proposal and has determined that due to the location of the property, having no significant impact on the existing parcels, the amount of parcels involved, and the consent of the surrounding neighbors, that this does not constitute spot zoning and therefore is permissible. So that was our answer to the town board on that review. Any questions?
Chip, do you have any idea when Riverview is going to be coming before the planning board for site plan?
No, I don't. I'd probably say 6 months or so, 6, 8 months, if I took a guess. I don't think they're going to start production until sometime next year.
Recreation?
Next trip is scheduled to see the Sky Chiefs game at the PNC Stadium. The tentative date is July 28th, and it's on a Wednesday night. And a bus will be provided. And this is by Karen Kyle, Recreation Rec.
Town clerk?
Okay, I had 43 certified copies for $430, 2 marriage licenses for $35, sold 1 county road map for $2, minor sales 50 cents. The ZBA public hearing was $195, the planning board public hearing was $195, that is for each. And bingo proceeds was $147.92. There was 1 dog adoption, $52, 117 dog licenses were sold for $527.03. 13 building permits for $1,179, 1 demolition permit for $50, and 5 home occupations for $100. The total revenues was $3,327.42. The total expenses, $348.97. And the town got $2,978.45. April, May, and June, I did 32 notaries. We sent out 21 postcards and made 32 phone calls to delinquent dog owners. Thank you.
If I might comment, the 1 road map she sold to me. And I took it over and gave it to the highway department. And it's what, 18, 19 years old since it's been upgraded? Okay, zoning?
I don't have any zoning.
Old business. I guess this could be old business, that we will be meeting with the engineer after this meeting tonight on this water district. In fact, he just walked in. Okay, new business. I'm going to read part of this. This will probably a letter that I really ain't supposed to have anyways, but I do happen to have it, and it went out to county legislators. It seems like the Oswego County, that task force subcommittee, it's inviting them to a meeting on June 14th at 1 p.m. The meeting will be held in the legislative chambers at the Oswego County building. Topic of discussion will include the advantages and disadvantages for Oswego County to privatize its solid waste system or become a solid waste authority. And then there's a list of people that are going to be there from different places. My comment on this, I really don't want to see the solid waste department up here ever be privatized, because I think this town's going to be getting more stuff than they ever dreamed that they had. I mean, we have enough problems in areas now. But that's just my opinion, and I wanted the town board to know about this. And I'm sure a lot of other people are going to know about it once this hits the TV, so. Any petitions here tonight? Okay, we'll go into our resolutions. I think yours is going to come under public comment. We won't be long, we'll be right there.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Resolution 2004-76, approval of minutes. Move to approve the regular meeting minutes of May 13th, 2004, having been previously distributed to the town board for their review without reading them aloud. I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Counselor Hartranft?
Yes.
Counselor Conley?
Yes.
Counselor Lockwood?
Yes.
Supervisor Lockwood?
Yes.
Motion is carried 4-0.
Resolution 2004-77, payment of vouchers. Move to authorize the supervisor to instruct the bookkeeper to pay the following vouchers from the appropriate accounts. Vouchers 138 through 169, general fund in the amount of $53,256.56. Vouchers 99 through 116, highway fund in the amount of $8,000.45. Vouchers 7 and 8, hospital or Swiggle Healthcare in the amount of $337.35. Voucher number 7 and 8, Seneca Hill Sewer in the amount of $10,145.62. And voucher number 2, Bundyville Water in the amount of $1,874.25, as shown on abstracts 6, June 2004. I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Counselor Hartranft?
Yes.